Hello guys, welcome back again. Sorry, Zoom got an update while I was doing the conference. So yes, that's basically all the questions that the person asked was given in the coursework. So please read the given coursework. Most of the answers that you see, you will find them there. Okay. So basically, we were doing the exercise on the dates. So what I'm gonna do in here is that I'm gonna continue with this exercise. So let me share my screen with you. You can all hear me, right? Can you hear me properly? Can you please respond? Very good. So what are we gonna do in here is that we're gonna basically enhance this application, and I'm gonna maximize it actually so you can see it properly. We're gonna basically develop this application further just to show you how you can take up the dates. So you can use to and from, as you can see from the text. And let's do a hotel reservation. If you want to book a holiday or reserve a hotel, you can do so by just looking into these values. And we're just gonna rename them now. So I'm just gonna name this as from date picker and to date picker. And we can also name this as the date label. It is possible that you can put a button here should you want to. I would suggest to do that instead of writing the code inside the data grid. It might be a better way to put a button here. So I'm going to put reserve, and oops, this is going to be button reserve, and this one is reserve as well. And slightly change the font size to fit into the line. Very good. So what I'm trying to do in here is basically to select these dates. So they should be the dates that I want to reserve. So this one is the button reserve click, which I already defined. So what I'm gonna do in here, as the user goes into the from date picker, we're gonna do both of them to date picker format, and this should be date time picker equal date time picker format custom. We're gonna use exactly the same format for the to date time picker custom format, and the same one. Using this now, we have a date. We have also a from date and basically a to date. So we can get them both. If you want to see them, we can have, let's say this from date picker value, and the same goes for the to date and this should be 2 dates. The first thing you should check in a scenario like this when the button is pressed is that the to date must be bigger than the from date. So if somehow the from date is bigger than the to date, this should generate an error for you, because it doesn't make sense that you go back in time, right? So basically, one of the dates should be bigger than the other. Please select to date greater than from date. In this case, it's going to be later than. Let's see this. From date cannot be later than to date. Please make a valid selection. So if I try to run this application, let's see how it's going to respond. If I want to do a reservation, and if I'm going to select the from date on 16 and to date on 12, which this means that the to date is basically earlier than the from date, because I cannot go back in time, it will say something like from date cannot be later than to date. Please make a valid selection, right? So it doesn't make sense that the from date is greater than the to date. So this has to be less. So it's 11, let's say, to 14. This time, as you can see, it doesn't really show me an error message. But if I select it later, then it will show me an error message. So because of the logical way, I made a selection in here. You can also do a selection for the today's date, should you want to, so that the from date cannot be greater than, from date cannot be less than the to date. So that will be a nice addition if you want to do a program. What you need to do in here is that you just need to find the values for the dates and create the difference in between them from date 2 to date 1 days and convert it into the string. And that's all you have to do. So you can put an else statement here. In our scenario, the date 2 is to date. And date 1 is the from date. If I subtract them from one another and assign it to string and initialize it to the label that I already defined at the beginning, which is the date label dot text, then this will give me the difference between the dates, which then I can show it on the screen. You can even put days at the end. So running this application now, if I select from tomorrow 13 to, let's say, 20 of May and desert these blocks, you will see that there are 7 days. This could be very beneficial for a hotel reservation or flight or whatsoever, for a kind of like a flight agency or even tourism agency kind of topics, which are given to you in here. Flight reservation, as you can see, hotel reservation, those kind of things, they take data as dates. So this can be very useful for them to manipulate this kind of data. Okay, but make sure that it has some logical validation, such as you should not be able to select the date basically more than the from date should not be more than the to date. Right, did you understand this exercise? Is there any problems with it? I'm going to try one thing here. So I'm going to put an if statement. What if the from date is less than date now? It means that from date should be today or later. So running this application, if I select the from date for yesterday, assuming that hotel reservations do not do earlier reservations, some hotels can do actually, because there could be some problems with their whatever database, but assuming that most hotels wouldn't do any direct reservation in the past, this should generate an error to you. It should say from date should be today or later. Because basically, if you're gonna do a reservation, the earliest time you can do is today or later. You can do later. And I wanna do, for example, until June 24th, 42 days. Okay, so that's how you can do this. Using dates, you can play around with the date format to do hotel reservations or flights. This could be very, very useful to you, as I said, particularly if you are having a date data. And I already shared my code with the validation with you. Once again, everything is given to you. You just need to watch this video and write these codes yourself. And the video is being recorded and I will upload it to YouTube as always. So you will have these videos at your disposal. So basically, I'm giving you everything in this course. Literally everything is there. You just need to combine all of these parts. So I'm not giving them to you as a whole. I'm giving them to you part by part. And your job is to take it from XML, to take it from this view, take it from data, date time picker, take it from other places and put them all together into one project, which is basically what your project is. And you don't have to do this alone. You can do it with two other mates in your group. So you are not alone as well. So I guess that's a very fair project and really useful to you in the future to design realistic applications. Now, if you have any questions, I'm going to take your questions. If you do not have anything, I'll stop here. And we'll meet probably next week again, one more time. And I'm going to soon end my lectures because I finished everything that I want to say about this course. Basically, I covered every single subject. I covered data grid view. I covered date and time. So basically everything is covered except maybe system diagnosis, which is a very short subject. And I'm going to cover that in the next week and be done with this course. I'm not going to do any more lectures because I finished all my chapters. Should you want to, we can meet every week as well. I have no problem with this. If you want to meet and you have any questions, we can meet regularly. Or we can discuss on the forms that I created on Moodle if you have any problems. So I'm checking my calendar right now. We have next week, one last time we meet. The following week, you have submissions. So next week is the last day that I'm gonna do the lecture, okay? And it's gonna be a short one. After next week, I'm not gonna do any more lectures. Lectures will be finished. and you will focus on your submission. As I said, if we have a final exam, I will announce this on Moodle, and most probably, I assume the final exams will be online because that is the explanation given by the higher authorities in Ministry of Education. But the school, our university, haven't decided yet. I assume they will decide very soon and they will go online. In that scenario, we will do the final exam online. Now, before I exit, do you have any questions? Did you find this lecture useful?
Yes, sir, it was very useful. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, then. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to stop the meeting and I will upload it to YouTube so you can rewatch the video if you want to learn again how the date time picker is done. Have a lovely day, guys. Thank you for coming to my class, by the way. I really appreciate that you show up, even though participation is quite low. I really appreciate that you come and participate. Thank you so much and good luck with your coursework. Take care.